I await in eager anticipation for this match against Weyland building a better world. David takes care of archers so easily. This should be a walkover, so long as I can find my economy, of course. He probably is running Scorched Turf, and you don't want to be at a credit deficit after making a run. So this is my mulligan hand. This is a terrible hand, by the way. Quality time is good, but only if it's accompanied by a sure gamble, because after a quality time, you'll be left with 2 credits, which is not enough to play any of your other economy cards. You have to click for a credit to even use Lucky Find, and that will take your entire turn up, which means you have to discard a lot of cards, and that's not good. Especially when your opening hand consists of 2 clone chips. You really want to get those clone chips off. Alright, the first run reveals everything. It's a Data Raven, so he's running dedicated response team, possibly Scorched Turf as well, or rather probably Scorched Turf as well. And this only reaffirms it, Draco. So he's probably running dedicated response team. If you cannot destroy the Data Raven, you will have to take attack after running, which means that you will eat meat damage from DRTs if there are any on the board. That is not very pleasant. And he starts off with a Jackson Howard. I've explained many times. Jackson Howard, sometimes it's fine to leave it on the table. Not so good when you have 2 indexings in your deck, but certainly not in this situation. He's digging for his Scorched Turfs and DRTs. I need to prevent him from doing so. So I run. It's a waste of a click, but at least it forces him to reshuffle his cards back in his deck. And he plays lots of economy and becomes rich. So now I can't run that easily. At least I draw into a breaker, my Overmind, so I can play that out as an option. And I finally get some money, so I can quality time out. But there are no event economy cards to be seen anywhere. Oh gosh, this is not looking good. So the best I could do here was to play the test run, which is effectively an economy card because I get to scavenge it. So if essentially I'm spending 2 clicks to gain 4 credits. I misclicked here. It was supposed to be an Overmind. Yep. And I managed to draw 1 card thanks to Exile's ability. Once again, I don't see any event-based economy, which really stinks. I really need the economy. Meanwhile, I'm thinking what could possibly be in the root of his HQ. I'm thinking off the grid, but no, off the grid's not installed on HQ. Panic button maybe? That would be pretty interesting. I have no idea. It could also be Bernie's Mind. Yes, I highly suspect it's a Bernie's Mind because Bernie's Mind synergizes so well with DRT. And yes, his HQ is pretty porous, so what better way to bring me down than a Bernie's Mind? Alright, so I do get a clone chip on the board. And once again, I continue digging with Diesel. Find no economy whatsoever. It's looking really bad because now I'm on 4 credits, he's on 11, so I cannot run in fear of Scorched Turf. Alright, he oversights a curtain wall. Very interesting. So this is a very big eyes Weyland. Alright, I'm forced to play Dirty Laundry here, but since he used a bit of credits, I should be fine, safe from Scorched Turf as long as I keep at least 4 cards in hand. And the Dirty Laundry allows me to get up to speed and forces him to dedicate eyes on archives. That's great for me. I'm more than happy to see him use Oversight AI on Curtain Wall, by the way. As you know, I'm running David. It's right there in my hand. You can see it blatantly. And this is a silver bullet against Oversight AI plus Curtain Wall. He feels so safe and secure, that remote. But trust me, I can get in there anytime I want. The only thing I'm really worried about is, all I'm doing now is waiting for him to start scoring in that remote. Remember, Weyland cannot fast advance. It's the only faction that cannot fast advance. Jinteki has Trick of Light, and HB and MBN are obviously fast advance, have their own fast advance mechanisms. Weyland's the only faction without such a mechanism. And they don't defend the remotes very well outside of Big Eyes. So all I have to do is to wait for him to trash the Jackson, install and advance an agenda, I'll snipe it from him. He thinks he's safe. Well, good luck with that. Yeah, sure. I could pay 10 credits and 3 Overmind tokens to break the curtain wall. He would think that I wouldn't do such a ludicrous thing. And even if I had a stim hack, it would be worth it because he could see Scorch me thereafter. having spent so many credits to get through the curtain wall. But what he doesn't know is that for paltry 3 credits, I can completely negate that ice plus oversight AI, which is a huge counter. Alright, enough rambling on. He continues to solidify his economy, which is bad for me. And I finally draw into some good economy, so now I can actually keep up with him. A single lucky find gives me 7 credits to match or exceed his restructure and beanstalk. But his beanstalk right now just gives him even more money. So right now he's leading me by 9 credits. That's not good. So I'm forced to play my power nap. For not many credits. I think that was 3 credits. 5 credits, okay. 5 credits is so. It's not very good because I didn't manage to use prepaid voice pad. But once again, I luckily draw into a lucky find. So now I'm up to 27. Bad news, he has 35 credits. It's a perpetual credit race, this playing against Weyland. Well, nothing much I can do about it. But one thing I have going for me is that I have 3 clone chips on my side. They are all installed. So if I have a full hand of 5 cards, I can actually run with impunity, because if he decides to pull a C double Scorched off, I can cash in all 3 clone chips before he throws the second Scorched Earth out and use Exile's ability to draw me 3 cards to save today. Alright, he forces me to run the Cerberus since he double advanced that. So I play the David and rid of his curtain wall. So now I can guarantee entry into the server as long as his ice does not have more than 2 subroutines. I'm looking at you, Hive. He won't rest a curtain wall here. Hive is the only ice I'm worried about. Ta-da! Hive. I was completely worried about this piece of ice. This is the only thing stopping me from getting in. And well, that showed up. So bad luck for me. I can't get through. I mean, I could sack a clone chip to recycle and overmine to get in, but that would do 2 bad things. Firstly, it would heavily drain my economy, which means that I'll be put in C-Scorch range, and he'll kill me because I have 3 clone. I am down to 2 clone chips, which won't save me from 8 meat damage. Alright, he plays a shell game. I entertain him by running because snare. Boom. Ouch. Alright. So with 3 clicks left, I need to salvage this situation. That was considered a successful run. So I know that if I don't finish with 5 cards in hand, I'm screwed. The only way I could do that was to use same old thing to retrieve a diesel, putting me at 5 cards and then clearing the tag. Otherwise, he would kill me. Actually, I should have figured that he wouldn't be able to kill me because we were pretty much level in terms of credits. So that was a misplay by me, as you'll see later. Alright, so I diesel up and I continue running his servers because I know he cannot fast advance. So the only way he's going to get any agendas out is if I let him do so by not checking his remotes. So I need to check his remotes. Tada! Snare. Snare hits, and it takes out my Levi AR Lab Access. Oh dear. I only packed 1 in this deck and 1 same old thing. Both are now in the heap. I am in trouble. At this point, I haven't really realized that yet, but I'm now playing with 11 hit points. This is starting to feel like Slaptacky once again. That's not good. But thankfully, I finally draw into my deep red, so now I can actually scavenge my overminds for more tokens, which will really help against his multi-subroutine ice. Alright, so he gets the remote server going. I need to contest that. Or not. I drew into a legwork, so I decided to play the legwork. Having seen 2 snares already, the chance of the last snare being in his hand are close to 0. In fact, the 3rd card that he installed was probably a snare. So I'm going in with the legwork, and I steal the cleaners. That's a great haul. Alright, fantastic. But I saw a punitive counter-strike as well, and he throws it out at me, but never mind. That's no worry for me. He pumps it up by a bit, but I am more than capable to beat the trace. He continues drawing up. He doesn't play a second punitive. That's great. Alright, so now I gain more money because I can. And I get the ESOPs out because I have a dead David on the table. it would be really nice if I can sell it for 3 credits. So I draw into another legwork and I'm looking to use it very soon. He doesn't seem to be too worried about protecting HQ, which now has a research station on it, a very rare upgrade that you never really see. So he has 7 cards in hand. I guess it's there to hold all his agendas, which means more legwork. This I find to be his weak point. If he's not churning agendas out on the table, he's keeping them in hand, which means that I should be using legwork. And this is where including 2 legworks in my deck is really paying off. Each legwork nets me 3 points, and now I'm on match point, very close to winning the game. One more agenda, and I'll be there. So I'm forcing him now to take care of HQ. I know that his agendas are pulled up there, either there or in archives. So I quickly get a scavenge out before it gets snapped off somehow, scavenging the Overmind for 6 tokens. This should allow me to get through most of his eyes, in particular that remote server. I'm thinking that's not a trap because the reason why he doesn't want to score the agenda is because he doesn't want to deactivate Hive. Hive is his only saving grace right now to tax my Overmind. But it turns out it's not an agenda, it was a June bug all along. Ouch, I definitely didn't see that coming. So basically, if you look at me, my stack is empty, my grip is empty. I have 0 hit points left and I'm not even playing against that techie. I'm in huge trouble. Dang, if I hit one more snare, the game is over. I need to find the last agenda before I take even one more sliver of damage, which means I need all the money in the world to avoid punitive won't hit me anymore. See Scorched, avoid the snare. This is hell. Alright, it's a guard. I break the guard, and my Overmind is now dead. And thankfully, his inner eyes is very porous. It's called Draco, which means I can trace through it easily. Thank goodness Exile came along with 1 free link. This is really helping out in here. Alright, he traces for 8. I'll match the trace because I do not want to get tagged. And I access 1 card. It's an ice wall. No luck there. I gain credits because that's the only thing left for me to do. Click for credits. I can't even draw cards right now. And clicking for credits is mandatory because I always need to stay afloat in credits, otherwise every turn I make a successful run, he can easily scorch me. Alright, so once again, Aesop's comes into play by pawning off my Overmind. So by installing new Overminds, I'm actually only making a 1 credit loss, which is really fantastic. Alright, so his HQ eyes are not too taxing, they are all low strength and only have 1 subroutine. So once again, I let him trace through the Draco, knowing that he has less credits than me, I will always win the trace. So the question is, how much does he want to tax himself? I'll let him decide. I cannot afford to waste any more Overmind tokens. I only have 1.5 Overminds left to play with. That's a trace of 7. I'll beat that. And now I'm left with 3 credits. If I hit an NEPD, I won't be able to score it. I think that's why he traced the amount. But it's not an NEPD, the game continues. It's a very tense moment right now. He cannot score agendas, but at the same time, I can't really steal agendas either. It's a very dicey situation for both of us. I cannot run on unadvanced cards because it could be a snare. I can only challenge advanced cards, but on the same token, if he doesn't start advancing anything in remote, he's going to lose. What I am worried about is that he will draw into his last Jackson Howard. He sacked 2 Jackson Howards this game thus far. If he sacks the 3rd one, he is sure to bring back 2 snares and the June bug, which will murder me. So I need to close the game out. I actually have a ticking time bomb on my hands right now. I need to close the game before he finds the last Howard. Okay, so my prepaid voice pads are coming into huge play here. Besides giving me discounts on my sure gambles and lucky finds, it's now proving to be pawn shop bait. Every turn I get to gain 3 credits for free, clickless economy, just like noise, and I click for credits. This allows me to stay afloat of his operation-based economy. This is so huge. being able to stay afloat against Weyland on credits, even though I'm not playing any cards at all. Right now, I'm just pawning my entire rig, one bit by bit. Alright, he's also clicking for credits. Looks like he cannot find his economy either. Alright, he has 2 cards in archives. I assume that he's dumping agendas there, so I make sure to check. He reveals a tracer, so that's great. I let him trace. I'm not going to waste my overmind tokens here. It cost me 3 credits to get through, and I pay accordingly. Remember that I still have a good credit lead over him, so I'm fine. There are no agendas, so I raid HQ. Breaking through I use up all the tokens, including Breaking Draco, because next turn I intend to pawn off my overmind. And nope, never mind. I steal the NAPD to close the game. Whew, that was a very grinding game. It played out over 40 minutes if I'm not wrong. It was really, really tough on both sides. He never ever found a scoring window because the combined pressure of David and Overmind proved too much to handle. He might have stood a chance if he attempted to rush an agenda out early. Unfortunately, he decided to bring it late, only when he has his curtain wall oversight AI set up, only when he had enough money to rest Hive and a Sea Scorch combo in hand. That proved to be his downfall, because once I gain traction on economy and I have my Overminds and Davids at the ready, there is absolutely no way he's going to score agendas. And if your deck doesn't have a plan to score agendas, you are going to be in trouble. He tried to flatline me as well. It very, very nearly succeeded. 1 more damage would have done the trick. But Weyland faction just doesn't do enough damage. Even though you pour all the red cards, he didn't manage to do enough damage, nearly enough damage to kill me. And anyway, I should not have been flatlined. That was poor play on my part because I didn't use the Levi AR Lab access when I should have. That was a misplay. But otherwise, that was a very nail-biting game all the way to finish. I was accessing single cards all the time. It could very well have been that I continued running HQ for the rest of the game, didn't find any proper accesses and lost because I lost all my Overmind tokens. That could easily have happened. But I got lucky. My bad draws were compensated by my lucky accesses. Thanks for watching and happy net running.